going on, everybody? Welcome to After Prison Show, and in this video, we're going to be addressing some comments from this past week, from some videos that we've uploaded this past week. This here is the best comments of the week. That's right, we haven't done a video like this in quite some time, so I figured why not? Let's go ahead and do one today. And there's a lot of comments that I've seen that I feel are really interesting and good comments that we can address in this video. People asking some really good questions, and people also saying some things that I'd like to respond to personally. Before we get into this video, however, I would like to take a moment to just draw attention to this shirt that I'm wearing. I know this shirt looks like it came from Express, however, it did not. You already know where I got this shirt from, Walmart. In fact, last weekend I went and purchased a whole new wardrobe from Walmart, like 4 dress shirts, 4 new pairs of shorts, and I probably spent something like 90 bucks for all of that. In fact, this shirt right here, I think this was like $12. So a special shout out to Walmart. Again, I can't emphasize enough, if you guys need nice dress clothes, Walmart is the place to go. You know, Walmart should really be paying us some money. They paid that little yodeling boy some money. Why can't After Prison Show get a little piece of the action as well? But neither here nor there, and with all of that being mentioned, what do you say we go ahead and dive head first into this best comments of the week video. This first comment comes to us from Kevin Stutzman, who's been a long-time supporter of After Prison Show, so special shout out to this guy. But this guy's asked a question that a lot of people have asked me throughout the course of After Prison Show, and a question I've never really had a chance to address until now. But Kevin asked, "Hey Joe, is that a wrinkle on your neck or a scar? Also, when are we gonna tase Dave?" You know, a lot of people have asked me what this mark across my neck right here is, and you know, I really wish I could tell you a crazy story about this time when I was in prison and I was on the poker table and I was gambling and I was up. I had taken everybody's money on the poker table. I was winning. They was all sitting around looking bitter, beer-faced, mad at me because I had all the money. I had all the zooms and wham-whams, all them ramen noodle soups, honey buns, sodas, chips, and crackers. They was all in my possession. I had that pot right there in front of me, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I couldn't even have prepared for it. I should have been paying attention, but I wasn't. All of a sudden, I felt this... Where'd all the poker chips go? Why am I in the back shower naked? Actually, you know what? I'm really glad nothing like that ever did happen, where I would have to tell you a story that somebody snuck up behind me, put a little makeshift rope around my neck, made out of a prison sheet, choked me unconscious, took all of my poker chips, all of my zooms and wham-whams, and I had to wake up naked in that back shower and probably lost a lot more than that, but I can't remember because I was choked unconscious and I couldn't sit down straight for a week. I'm really glad I don't have to sit here and tell you anything like that ever really happened to me. It didn't. Actually, truth be told, what this mark across my neck really is it's almost embarrassing, and I'm almost ashamed to have to admit this, but it's a wrinkle from a fat roll. Again, I'm almost ashamed to talk about this. You know, this is something that I haven't ever wanted to address here on After Prison Show, but I probably should. You know, there's something I haven't been telling you. Cody, we got a water bottle so I can sprinkle some tears on my face? No? Okay. I'm good. Thanks though, Dave. You know, throughout the course of the time that we've been doing After Prison Show for about a little more than 2 years, I've gotten fat. I've gotten really fat. You know, at first I used to refer to it as just the dad bod, and dad bods were in, but I spend a lot of time eating whole cans of Pringles because, like the can says, once you pop, you can't stop. They were not telling any lies with that type of marketing. I eat whole cans of Pringles and I drink Sprites probably 2 or 3 times a day. I binge eat. And if I continue with this type of lifestyle, it probably won't be long before I end up on my 600-pound life. But yeah, that's it. It's not a scar, it's just an indentation from fat being rolled over my skin. And also a wrinkle. So it's a fat roll and a wrinkle mixed into one. Because I'm 35 years old, you know, I'm not getting any younger. So I hope that answers your question, Kevin. Shout out to you for being a longtime supporter of After Prison Show, and thank you for putting me on blast. I appreciate it. And to answer the second part of your question where you asked, when are we going to tase Dave? I don't know. We were actually just talking about that before I began filming this video, so who knows? We might do that in the upcoming future, or maybe I'll go ahead and get tased and maced again. Tanner Wilson asked, what do you think prisoners are betting on the Stanley Cup playoffs? You know, shout out to the NHL and the NBA right now, both having the playoffs. It's kind of crazy to think that both of those playoffs happen at the same exact time, and I can guarantee you one thing. Ain't too many people in prison who watch hockey. Now, me, myself, while locked up, I most certainly would watch hockey anytime that I could. But, you know, it didn't come on all that often. We definitely didn't have a lot of channels that would allow you to be able to watch hockey if you wanted to. So the only time I was really ever able to watch it was during the NHL playoffs and during the Stanley Cup finals as well. But again, with the fact that the NBA playoffs and the finals take place at the same time as the NHL, there ain't too many people who are going to be watching, let alone betting on no damn hockey. But that NBA, on the other hand, my God, dudes are going to be betting the house. They're going to be betting everything they got. Their entire locker box, everything inside of it, their mat, their chair, their coffee cup. They're going to be betting every last thing that they got. And another thing to throw into this, while these playoffs are taking place and these finals are taking place, or football or any sports that are really popular in prison, which are mostly just basketball and football, anytime either of those two sports are on TV and those games go late into the night, you can rest assured you ain't going to be getting no sleep, because everybody in there who's watching them games, they're not going to be caring about the fact that you're trying to rest. Damn, you see the way LeBron just dunked on that dude? Boom, he just bung that dude. You see that right there? Hey, you see that right there? But to answer your question, Tanner, the NHL, it's just not that popular in prison. Mr. Bob Show, 38 minutes, gone have sex 14 times with a bunch of little laughing emojis. Now this comment is in reference to a previous video we just did about the most unbelievable prison escapes. And there was this one guy that I was talking about, a guy by the name of Mark, who escaped. He only had 4 days to serve. This dude escaped after 2 days. God only knows why this dude attempted to do so. And he only remained on the run for like 38 minutes. Mark Schwartz, a Forestville man who was halfway through serving a 4-day sentence for driving under the influence, escaped from a North County detention facility in Sonoma County on Friday night, and he was captured 38 minutes later. And I posed a question in that video saying, if you escaped from prison and you only had 38 minutes, what would you do? And Mr. Bob Show says 38 minutes, gone have sex 14 times. I'm not exactly sure if gone is the proper word to use right there. I'm pretty sure it's going to be something like gonna. Ain't going to be no gone. Gonna. G-U-N-N-A. Gonna have sex 14 times. But shout out to you. 14 times you're going to have sex in 38 minutes. That means you're going to last something like... I actually have no idea how long you're going to last per session. You know, I really need like Hooked on Phonics or something, because my math game is terrible. Probably one of my favorite comments from this past week. You know, I might go ahead and just call this the best comment of the week. This right here made me actually laugh out loud. I LOL'd. I lolled for real when I read this comment. From a person by the name of Darn Wilson. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. But this person said, 2 people dislike this video because they have syphilis. Oh my God, that was hilarious. And that was pretty funny right there. Shout out to you, Darn Wilson. Again, I can't pronounce her name. 5 people actually liked this comment. The sad reality about it is, though, is by the time you left this comment saying 2 people disliked this because they had some kind of sexually transmitted disease, I'm sure by the time it was all said and done, there was probably more something like 60 to 100 dislikes on that video. You know, to be completely honest with you, I don't know why so many people be disliking the videos. And you know, it's funny because when I upload a video, it won't be up for 1 minute. And you know, I go click to see the video after like 1 minute just to see, you know, how it's performing, and I'll see like 4 dislikes. 4 dislikes in 1 minute. You didn't even give the video 90 seconds. What could I have possibly done in 1 minute to make you dislike it? It makes me believe, it really makes me believe that there's certain people, you know who you are. You know, because you probably already hit the dislike button on this video. But it truly makes me believe there are certain people subscribed to this channel just so they can get that notification. I don't know what a notification sounds like. They get that notification after Prison Show just uploaded a new video. Yes! Yes! I've been waiting all day. I've been waiting for 3 o'clock just so I can click this notification. Dislike. I hope that takes 1 minute off of your life, Joe. If I could dislike it twice, I would, I swear. Oh, this is actually pretty funny. Oh, that was pretty funny, actually. I'm still gonna leave a dislike, though. You know, I learned a long time ago, you just can't make everybody happy. You're damned if you do, and you're damned if you don't. Steve Ruark, or Ruark. Sorry if I mispronounced that. You know, I can't read, I can't do math. It's amazing I even know how to film a video. To be completely honest with you, I barely even know how to do that. Hey, Cody! Hey, why is this light out here flashing on the camera? Does that mean we recording? Oh, okay. I just want to make sure. But Steve Ruark says, down the pipe, Joe. Down the pipe. It's not down the pike. This is in reference to a video that I just did a couple of days ago where, I was talking about there was this prison guard that I really can't stand. This guy, he really didn't like me. He didn't really like too many of anybody. But this was something that he would come into the housing unit saying all the time. There's going to be some major changes coming down the pike. His words, not mine. I'm just repeating verbatim what this man would say. I don't know if it's really pike or pipe. Why would you say there's going to be some changes coming down the pipe? I guess that would actually make a lot more sense. But shout out to you, Steve. Thank you for leaving that comment and also for probably giving me a better understanding of how to use that terminology or that phrase. I'll tell you guys a real quick little story about this particular prison guard who used to say this all the time. Y'all better get ready. There's some changes. They are coming down the pike. Isn't pike a fish? But with this one particular prison guard that I'm talking about, this is absolutely crazy. I was coming home one night. I can't remember who I was with. This was probably only a couple of months ago. And I saw somebody walking into the 7-Eleven right by where I live at. And I'll be damned if it wasn't this dude. And the reason I could tell, I only saw him very briefly as he was walking to go into 7-Eleven as we were driving by. But, this guy had a very distinguished walk. He was a bigger fella. He was fat. Let's just go ahead and put it out there. This dude was fat. He probably had like 2 or 3 scars across his neck. But this guy had a walk pretty much similar to the guy CB that I talked about who got in the fight with Ernie. This was probably one of the funniest prison fights that I ever saw. If you guys never saw that video and heard me tell that story, here's a little scene just to give you an idea of how CB walked.
Hey, Ernie, what you doing over there, Ernie? Ernie, come here, Ernie. Ernie.
Yeah, this prison guard, he walked the exact same way. And as soon as I saw this guy even just briefly passing by, I was like, damn, there goes that dude right there that used to always talk about them changes coming down the pike. And I thought very seriously about turning around and going to see this dude being like, hey, what's up? Hey, I'm out, man. I'm doing good, man. Hey. But again, this guy was not the greatest prison guard. In fact, he was probably one of the worst prison guards I ever had to deal with. So, I really didn't have no type of kick it or want to have any kind of conversation with this dude. I should have ran up on him with a camera, though. This that guy I'm telling all y'all about right here. Look at him. He walked just like CB. I was telling y'all the truth. Hey, what you getting on your phone for? You dialing 911. Probably wouldn't have gone over all that well. Again, hence the fact why I decided not to stop and talk to that dude. Hey, how you doing, man? There's some changes coming down the pipe. Man, we in the free world, man. Ain't nobody got no time for that. Go get you something off that grill in 7-Eleven. They got 2 for $2.22 big bites in there. But you don't even need another big bite with all them lines in your neck. Changes coming down the pipe. It's pipe anyways. Say it right. Let's go ahead and move on to a more serious comment. And this is actually a really good question. I want to take the time to answer from Poco Joho. If I'm not pronouncing that correctly, it probably sounds racist. But this person asked, what happens if you're mixed races in jail? Like for me, I'm white and Hispanic. It's funny that you mentioned that because guess what? I'm white with a Hispanic last name. So I'm pretty similar to you myself. And this is a question that I've seen a lot of people ask in the comment section throughout all of the time we've been doing After Prison Show. Probably something I've never really had a chance to address before. So I want to take the time to do so. Just because you might be mixed, whether you're white and black, whether you're black and Spanish, whether you're white and Spanish, no matter what race you are, it is all about how you carry yourself. I have seen quite a few biracial dudes, white mixed with black mixed with Chinese. I've seen so many of these dudes just get through their time like it ain't nothing. And I've also seen a lot of these younger biracial dudes mixed up with the gangs as well. You'll have some of these dudes who are Bloods, which a crazy thing to think about that is a white guy cannot be a Blood. But I've certainly seen a biracial dude be just that. I've seen these dudes be Crips. I've seen these dudes be all sorts of other crazy gangs that run around the prisons. I've also seen a few of these dudes who have no affiliation at all. They're just overall cool dudes who know how to carry themselves. They don't cause any problems. They stay out of the way like the next man. They're just trying to get through their time and they're cool with the people that they're cool with. Just because you're of a mixed race does not mean that you're going to have a harder or worse time or that you're even going to be outcast. But don't get me wrong. Yes, to a certain degree, I am absolutely sure that does happen. But I cannot emphasize enough that it is all about how you carry yourself while locked up. And take it from me, a white guy with a Spanish last name. I got through all of the time that I served pretty okay. Minus about the 20 fights that I probably got in throughout the course of my life being locked up. And most all of those fights, I lost. But other than that, I got through my time pretty all right. Toby Miller comments saying, I work in fire protection and I service dozens of prisons in the state of Louisiana. And from what I've seen, all of those trade programs and efforts to give prisoners skills to help them once released have been disappearing. It's sad, and those poor guys are being set up for failure and ultimately a return trip once released. You know, Toby, first of all, thank you so much for adding your insight to this conversation. This was on a recent video that we just did about the major changes being made in the prisons and how prisons are going to be in the future. One thing to definitely say about your comment, first and foremost, is the state of Louisiana has the highest incarceration rate of any state in the United States. It is the craziest thing to think about, but the state of Louisiana locks up more people per year than any other state anywhere else. And in a state like that, you would imagine that they would be trying to add more trades and more programs to give guys a better chance once released, instead of taking those things away from them. And you know, you wonder why this state has the largest incarceration rate of any other state. It's probably got at least a little bit to do with that right there that you just said, that they're taking away these trades and programs. You know, if you just lock people up and you don't give them anything to do, no schooling, no trades, no job training, no nothing, you don't give them anything positive to focus on while they're serving this time, how can you honestly expect that they're going to come home and do anything different? It's a crazy damn thing to think about. I've got one more comment I want to address in this video. This one comes from Sleepy Time Drew, who says, I love your channel, Joe. I really do. I've been pretty much watching since day one, but the fact that you are constantly screaming and yelling is really starting to turn me away. I don't mind any of the stuff that people give you hell about. What stuff? Hey, Sleepy Time Drew. Hey, people talking about me. They talking bad about me? Hey, tell me what they saying. But I can't take the screaming. It's obnoxious. Shout out to Cody and Dave. Sleepy Time Drew, first and foremost, special shout out to you. Thank you so much for rocking with this channel for as long as you have. Cody! Hey, Dave! Sleepy Time Drew said, what's up? And you know, I do apologize if me talking loud and screaming does annoy you. You know, first of all, I want to try to break this down a little bit. You know, when I film these videos, I want to film these loud enough so where it's picked up by the microphone really well. We've got wind, like 30-mile-an-hour winds almost every single day. So I want to make sure that my voice comes across clear and overpowers that wind outside. Now, I'm not trying to sit here and justify me screaming and yelling and, as you say, being obnoxious. Suck it up, Joe. Don't let it get to you. Do not let it get to you. But the truth be told, and I'm not even trying to be funny about this, you know, that is just my personality. When I get in front of this camera, I don't want to be boring. I refuse to. Whatever it is that I'm talking about, addressing, or doing in these videos, I try to do it my absolute best. I really do. And if sometimes that comes across not right, if sometimes that comes across obnoxious, you know, that's not my intention at all. I want to create entertaining and energetic content. That's what I focus on every time I get in front of this camera. And don't get me wrong. You know, like I said at the very beginning with the dislikes, how I feel people just come to the channel just to dislike a video. That's just going to be the way that it is. You know, not everybody is going to be a fan of everything that I do. And throughout the course of all of the time that I've been doing these videos for After Prison Show, believe me, I've seen plenty of times where I thought I had a really solid idea, something really awesome. I was just like, yeah, people are going to love this. And then I put it together and it's an absolute bomb. It's a dud. Touch them 2 times, Tommy. A lot of people don't like that character. And that's a perfect example of what I'm saying. You know, I don't try to do these videos to be obnoxious. I know I can be that way. Don't get me wrong. I know when I'm talking about things, I tend to talk about them in a crazy and what I also try to emphasize in entertaining way. But I also know that not everybody's going to find that content to be what I hope that it will be. I do try to create the best content that I can. And I also, at this point, because I've been doing this for so long, you know, people comment from time to time, Joe, when are you going to go back to your old content? When are we going to get some prison stories? You know, at this point in the game, this thing has completely evolved. Don't get me wrong. I will tell prison stories from time to time. Those are like a fine wine, though. We got to knock the dust off of those things. And I can guarantee you, we will have some prison stories upcoming very soon. But again, going back to the old content, you know, this channel has grown, this channel has matured, and this channel is just continuing to evolve. And with all of that, you know, I try to emphasize on making the best stuff, the best content, the best videos that I can. And if sometimes I yell and sometimes I get carried away, I apologize. You know, I get wrapped up in the moment. I enjoy what I do. I try to have the most fun with it that I possibly can. And you know, this may sound absolutely crazy, but what you find obnoxious and what you find to be me screaming, you know, at the end of the day, after I've uploaded the video, I actually sit back and watch those videos at 3 o'clock as well. Because those are really the first time that I'm getting a chance to even proof the video once we've gotten done editing it. Most of the time, not all the time. Sometimes I get a chance to proof it before it goes up. But as I'm watching those videos, I'm entertained. I truly am. I can laugh at my own stupidity. And I think that's what I try to emphasize and pride myself on the most here today. Making sure that what I'm creating makes me happy first. So Sleepy Time Drew, I hope you can appreciate that. And I hope you will stick around. It means a lot that you've rocked with me as long as you have, and to everybody else who's rocked with After Prison Show for as long as you have, or if you're new here. You know, I appreciate each and every one of you. Even those of you who leave the dislikes. Hey, look, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did so, please leave a like and a comment letting me know exactly what you thought about it. As always, until next time, enjoy life, the free world. Never take a moment for granted, and make the most of every day.